Welcome to my fourth video log. Today I'm going to be focusing on sprint mechanics, most importantly the A-skip. To start, speed drills are designed to isolate and combine joints to rehearse the patterns that establish a most effective movement pathway. This rehearsal will recruit a number of motor units and a firing sequence of the motor units, resulting in an increase of force and power into the ground. We use exercises that exhibit a high degree of specificity to meet the demands. Incorrect technique will lead to a repetition of errors, and it may take a long time to correct. Therefore, it's important to teach the correct movement patterns first to avoid errors. A-skip drills are good to reinforce the appropriate posture and allow athletes to use the correct motor patterns whilst applying force to the ground. This is a more advanced motor skill than the A-march and requires a greater degree of motor control to perform correctly. The speed across the ground is slightly faster when skipping. The ability to coordinate the cadence will improve with practice, which is why it is important to deliberately progress the speed of the drill to ensure the athlete follows a straight line without significant deviation of the limbs or trunk into the sagittal plane. When performing the A-skip, the athlete will travel forward with a slight forward lean and then drive the knee and the opposite arm in front of the body. The athlete will then continue to alternate the knee and arm drives with mini hops as they head down the track. The athlete should land with mid-foot contact close to the centre of mass, to pull back and apply more force into the ground to allow further displacement. If the foot lands away from the centre of mass, the backside mechanics will have to work harder to maintain position and forces will not be used effectively. In the next section, I'm going to critique my own version of the A-skip and highlight any errors which I may have done throughout the process. I will then discuss further derivatives that can be put in place to correct these going forwards. The vertical line shows the force being applied into the floor. This should show plantar flexion to drive the foot into the ground and push the body upwards to get displacement. As you can see with the circled foot, you can see that there's not a lot of force being applied into the ground, and therefore there's not a lot of displacement coming back up from the ground for takeoff. The back leg should be straight to develop the greatest force available from the floor. As you can see here, this bent knee results in a less than optimal sprint pattern. The toes should remain in a dorsiflex position with the knee drive higher than 90 degrees. The heel should be tucked just underneath the bum to allow for a circular leg swing to occur. Upon reflection, I exhibit a less than optimal movement pattern, therefore derivatives of this exercise should be performed to allow for further and greater motor control. To start off with, an athlete should begin to learn the patterns with high knee lifts or A drills. The basic exercise is to coach the athlete to lift the knees high, keep a tight stomach and back in an upright position to encourage foot recovery, to pull the toe and heel up, contributing to an active foot loading. To start with, an athlete can use this drill to develop motor control. An athlete will then be progressed to a faster cadence. If an athlete is finding it difficult to maintain balance and coordination, wall drills can be used as an alternative starting point. This drill is good for teaching the appropriate posture, and the athlete can learn what it feels like to drive their knees up with force and extend through the hip. Where mobility and rhythm is an issue, the speed of the drill can be decreased and the use of small hurdles can be added. The hurdles will encourage the athlete to focus on the correct foot placement throughout the drill and lift the knee and ankle into the correct positions.